Let's discuss about an important ratio, that is PB ratio, also known as price to book value ratio. Like P ratio, in here P means share price, which we all know, and B stands for book value. Now what is book value? It's very easy. Let's understand with the help of an example. Suppose there's an empty shop whose value today, if we sell it, is rupees 100 as per the market rate going on. There are two shareholders of that shop who holds 50% each. So if we sell it today, then what those two shareholders will get? They will get rupees 50 each for their holding. So the book value of that shop will become 50 rupees as there are only two shareholders and the price today is 100. Therefore, 100 by 2 is 50 rupees. In this way, we can see that book value of Tata Steel here is 593 rupees. What does this mean? It means that behind one share there are 593 rupees of assets or 593 rupees in the bank. So, if whole Tata Steel gets sold out today, then theoretically every shareholder will get 593 rupees. The price of one share today is 277 rupees, so we will get 593 rupees for an exchange of one share price of 277 rupees. However, in practical world, this doesn't happen. It is because when any company tries to sell all of its assets such as buildings, machineries, vehicles, etc., then the market prices of those assets differ and the company won't get price in which he wants to sell. Also, it takes a lot of time to sell all of the assets. So practically this is not possible. But for understanding, we can assume that for a share price of 277 rupees today, the company has 593 rupees of assets or cash balance. This is only PB ratio. In this, the price is 277 rupees divided by book value of 593 rupees, which comes out to be 0.47. Now we will think that for a share price of only 277 rupees, we are getting assets worth of 593 rupees. It's very attractive in terms of valuation, but we have to keep in mind some points. First, PB ratio or book value is good in terms of valuation only for some industries or companies such as heavy industries, capital intensive industries like cement, infra, power, etc., where there is need of large capital for acquiring hard assets such as plant, land, machines, etc. In this type of industries, we can use book value. Why can't we use it in other industries? Let's see an example of InfoEdge. InfoEdge is an IT company which is known for its brands like Naukri.com, 99 Acres, Policy Bazaar, Jeevan Sathi, Zomato, etc. Here we can see that the company has a PB of 10, book value of around 201 rupees and share price of 2019 rupees. It means that for a price of 2019 rupees, the company has assets worth only 201 rupees. So as per PB, this is very costly. We will think that why to buy such a company by paying a price of rupees 2019 when it has assets only of 201 rupees. Now, in book value, the things included are car, machinery, land, building, etc., which are tangible, which we can touch and feel. But in InfoEdge, the PB is not the right way to judge a company because the work of InfoEdge is to make thousands of employees sit in single office, do web development, sales, marketing, etc. This tells us that the main assets of InfoEdge is not plant or machinery, but its employees. Their business model is such that they do not need to invest in big factories, machinery, land, etc. This is why the book value of company is less. Their main assets are employees, but in accounting, employees are not treated as an asset. They are treated as an expense because salary is paid to them and salary is an expense. This is the reason the book value of most of the IT company is very less. Secondly, if we value Apple on the basis of land, building, machinery, plants, etc., is that the right way to do so? No, it's not. Because Apple derives its value from brand, not from the book value. Because brand is not included in book value, only tangible assets are included in book value. Valuing Apple from PB is not the right way. So, such companies which have strong brands, intellectual property, etc., they shouldn't be valued on the basis of PB. We can judge banks on the basis of book value. Banks have financial assets, they take deposits and give loans. So, the book value entirely captures this asset. Thus, PB is a good ratio for banks. Steel plant, power companies, etc., which doesn't sell branded products but sell commodities like cement, which doesn't have high brand value, can be analyzed based on book value. But products where brand value is high, in such as mobile phone, like a Chinese phone and an Apple, have a price difference of about 30 to 40,000 due to brand value, can't be valued based on PB ratio. Commodity like cement have only minimal differences like 10 to 20 rupees per ton. Rest the price is uniform. So in cement, the brand value is not generating returns, but the plant and machinery are generating the returns. In this case, PB is the right ratio to look at. So now I guess you must have understood how and when to use the PB ratio, in which industries we should use and in which we should not use. Let's take one more example. I am opening HDFC Bank in Ticker, and after clicking on the peers, Ticker will take us to the peers list of HDFC Bank. Here, HDFC Bank is trading at 4 times the book value. Kotak Mahindra is trading 6 times the book value. ICICI Bank is trading 2 times the book value. Axis Bank around 3 times the book value, etc. Different banks have different book value. By comparing this, we can get to know which bank is cheaper and which is costlier. However, we should never invest only by seeing a single ratio. We should check other parameters too, which we will discuss in further chapters.